Hey guys, Ike here from Mike'sOutdoors.com. I'm here today to show you the Duke tree stand from Xstand. This is a ladder stand, but what I've done is I've got it disassembled right now. We're going to show you some of the other features of it when we get it put up, but we're going to show you some of the features of the platform with it down on the ground so I can show them to you just a little bit better. Xstand has a great video on their website. Just go to the Duke, you can go down below, you can click video, and they'll show you all the features of this tree stand and how to put it up properly. So I recommend you go and watch that video and learn how to put this thing up properly before you get it. It does come with an instruction manual, and there is a lot to this tree stand, I will say that, but it is there's a lot of steps to this thing. But if you are kind of savvy with your hands and can follow simple directions, it's not that hard to put together. It took me a couple hours to put it together, but it's definitely worth it. It's a little bit more elaborate system than what your typical tree stand has, but to me it's worth it. The payoff is there for the safety features that this thing has. And like I said, it wasn't too bad. If you can follow simple directions, you can follow the directions to put this thing together. So to show you this thing real quick, this thing has a shooting rail on here. When we get it all put together, this is going to be 20 foot to the shooting rail from the ground approximately. The shooting rail has a couple different positions. You can actually take this thing, and it has some knobs here on the side, and you can actually lift those up. Has one on each side, and you can put that up higher, or you can put it up, you can move it down here, and you can put it down low if you want to. It's easy to remove if you're a guy who doesn't want to have the shooting rail. It's easy to remove. You just have to take a bolt off, or take a deal out here, bolt out here, and a bolt out on that side, and pop this thing off, and you can take this thing off. Now I recommend leaving it on. I can shoot my bow out of one like this absolutely no problem, even with this shooting rail on here. I just set it down low, and when I stand up I lean out over the front of it. So not too hard to shoot around this thing, around this shooting rail. Has a lot of just really cool features to it. It's got a hook here, it's got a hook on this side for gear. It's got a cup holder here, or you can put your calls or whatever you want to in there as well. This has a 300-pound weight rating. It is all steel construction, and it's got a really good powder coated finish on it. Absolutely great finish on it. It's got a footrest down here. You can see this footrest will fold up and then come back down, so you can like when I was transporting it, folded it up, but that footrest will come up and will go back down, locks into the bottom of your platform. The seat is very, very comfortable and very, very big. Very nice seat. It also folds up, so when you're climbing up into your stand, you can fold that thing up and you can put it back down as you get ready to sit down. Now, as far as using it in the tree and getting it to fold up, once you fold it up, it stays there. This thing does not want to come down. It's got bolts on the side. Give them a good tightening, like I do any tree stand, and they're going to hold this seat up just fine. So it's got armrests on it, which are padded. Everything on this thing has really nice washers to hold it, keep it quiet. It's got a really good system to it to make this thing really quiet and really comfortable while you're in here. The platform on this thing is 18 inches wide and it's 26 inches deep, so this is a big, generous platform. Really good steel, really good heavy duty, got good support system to it. Welds all look fantastic on this. Welds look great on this entire tree stand. Everything looks really good. Guys at Xstand, all their stands that I've reviewed in the past, the welds have looked fantastic, and being a welder and being a weld inspector, I'm really very critical on those types of things. So the seat is a Comfort Flex seat cushion, and this thing is super comfortable. It just, man, this is the kind of stand you can sit in all day. It's big, it's comfortable. It's got a 22 by 16 inch seat on it, 22 inches wide, 16 inches deep. Very, very nice tree stand seat. I mean, absolutely a dream to sit in, just as comfortable as can be. The weight on this whole thing is a little bit heavy. This is a 79-pound stand, so this thing's got a little bit of weight to it, but like I said, the trade-off is worth it with the weight, the good quality steel that goes into this thing. This thing's 20 foot tall. It ain't 20 foot tall to the bottom or to the top of the stand, or 15 foot tall or 18 foot tall. It's 20 foot tall to the rail, so this thing's a nice stand. I love to be 20 foot, and a lot of the ladder stands that you get, they say they're 20 foot, but they end up not being 20 foot tall. They end up being more like 18. Some of them as short as 15, so 15 to 18 foot. But this one is a good 20 foot tall. So we're going to go ahead and put this thing up and show you some of the other things that this comes with. And like I said, go to Xstand's website and click on the video, and they'll give you good instructions on how to put this thing up. Follow the proper safety instructions. I'm going to go ahead and put this thing up, and I'm going to put on my harness, and I got a lifeline system that I'm going to use, and we're going to follow the safety as much as we can. But we're going to go ahead and show you just some of those features. We're not really going to show you how to put this thing up because they cover it so well in their video, but we're going to show you some of the features that this thing has while we're putting it up. One thing I want to show you while we got this on the ground is the lockjaw system. You got your jaws right here on the back of the tree stand. Here's my seat. So this is the part that's going to go up against the tree. You got these two cables that are going to go down, and we're going to show you how to secure them here in just a minute. But you're going to run these behind the tree, you're going to cross them over, and then you're going to run down to your support arms to a ratchet strap that's actually going to tighten these up. So what it's going to do is it's going to pull on these cables, and it's going to move these two lock jaws in until it securely bites into the tree. So you can see, you can go out nice and wide with them, and you can securely move those in to, you know, a fairly small diameter tree. Of course, use your own discretion and hunt out of trees that are safe to hunt out of, but it's really nice to be able to get this thing up in the air and secure to the tree stand without having to get up into it and secure a ratchet. So that's how the lockjaw system works. There's your two cables. As you cross them behind the tree and you'll pull them tight, and then you start ratcheting them. They're just going to work their way into the tree, and they're going to hold the top securely. Another feature this Duke has is called the silent pin technology. This kit's going to come with springs that you're going to put on your pin, and as you can see, when you put this in here, I'll put it in from this way so you can see, the pin is going to actually keep, or the spring's actually going to keep tension on that pin. So whenever you clamp this thing in, if I can get it to clamp in, it's actually going to keep that thing from being loose and rattling around. So whenever you're moving around in your stand, you don't have to worry about those things rattling around and making a bunch of noise. The Duke, like many of the other egg stands, has the lockjaw system, and the first step of the lockjaw system is your brace right here. We have a brace that extends out to the stand, and then it comes back here. We've got it on each side. You got these teeth right here that bolt right into the tree. So it's got a ton of adjustment. Bolts right into the tree. Strap that thing down, and you can see it's already biting into the tree. So that's the first step in a lockjaw system, and I think it's going to be outstanding. So the next step is we're going to tie up our top, and then we'll be ready to climb in. Okay, now these cables right here hook to your lockjaw system on the top, and what these do is, as I pull this tight, it actually closes that lockjaw system like we showed you with it on the ground. So now I'm going to take this lockjaw system and I'm going to run it behind the tree. Now you got to just follow directions that X-Stand provides. You run that behind the tree. From the opposite side, you run it around the tree and then back to this side. We've got both pieces through, and we're going to use a ratchet strap up here to actually secure these part down and lock the top in. Okay, now the strap that we have here is actually a strap. I've never seen one like this before until we see the X-Stand. It has carabiners on here that are actually a locking carabiner. We're going to strap this right here to this one and actually lock it in, and then we're going to strap it to the other one, lock it in, and then we're going to strap it, well, we'll show you the bottom part when we get to it. We're going to strap both of those in just like that. We're going to bring this down, and we actually have a ratchet strap right there in the middle. This is going to hook to our bottom of our ladder stand just like that. So with that, we're going to pull up the slack. We're actually going to ratchet this down. And what this is actually going to do is it's actually going to close the jaws up on top. And I've got this just like that with the extra pressure here. It's also going to pull these in a little bit tighter, but I can see it's tightening up on top there, pulling those lockjaw teeth in. And now this stand is nice and secure. So with that in place, I can actually now climb up this thing. Now, if you're going to climb up in a tree stand, I recommend you have a safety harness on. With this particular setup, I'm going to use with this setup when it gets to the woods, I'm going to use a lifeline. I do have a lifeline and a system with me, and I recommend that you definitely use those. So I'm going to get my lifeline set up, and we're going to use that to climb up into the tree. Okay, so now that we've got our lockjaw system in place, everything is tight, everything's pretty secure. We did all that without having to actually climb up there. I have went ahead and installed a lifeline, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hook up to this lifeline here and climb up there and put this last ratchet strap on. And that's it. This thing is secure from there. Safe, convenient, easy to use as far as getting it strapped to the tree. Now, like I said easy to use. You're going to want a couple people to put this thing up. I put it up by myself, and boy, is it it's heavy and it's hard to get one up there. So you're definitely going to want a couple of people. But the lockjaw system is fantastic. Actually, putting this thing up and using the lockjaw system, one of the big failings of putting up a ladder stand, especially like me, I hunt by myself, is putting one up and having it fall on you. And I actually did that a couple years ago. I put one up and I strapped some stuff around it, and I actually put in some bracing and stuff like that. And when I fell, the tree stand actually twisted in the middle, and I rode it down. And what I did is I ended up landing on my heel. I landed and fell, and I actually got a severe bruise on my heel. I thought I'd broke my leg for a couple minutes. I couldn't feel nothing, couldn't walk, and it hurt real bad just trying to put that stand up. And I ended up limping around for about 3 months. There's just nothing you could do for it. So it's definitely, the lockjaw system gives you a safety advantage of being able to put this thing up from the ground, being able to make it nice and secure. Everything, all the features of the lockjaw system work really well. They work as they're advertised to do, and this Duke is an outstanding tree stand. We'll go ahead and pull this thing down now because it's getting dark, but we'll put a link below to X-Stands. They've got a ton of great tree stands. They've got this Duke, they've got a couple 2-man stands, some climbers that are just out of this world, and got outstanding products and just really quality made. So be sure to check this out. We'll put the link below for more product reviews, how-to videos. Be sure to check out Ike's Outdoors. And I do want to add, I am wearing a hunter safety system, and I'm going to use this to go up the tree to secure this thing in, but they do come with a 4-point harness system. That's a pretty good standard harness system. So be sure to read all the safety measures that come with these tree stands and follow them, because it is not worth getting hurt, and it's not worth being injured, because then you can't hunt. You're going to avoid missing time hunting. You may not be able to provide for your family, so be sure to follow those safety rules, and be sure to follow the directions that come with these X-Stands. So like I said, for more product reviews, how-to videos, be sure to check us out at IkesOutdoors.com. Appreciate you guys watching.